Hello everybody, welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 495, we're going to talk about NIv Mizzet the Dracogenius. I guess the word "the's" not in there. But, as usual, we got a 6-mana 5/5 flying dragon wizard. You know, that's kind of that's kind of the NIv Mizzet archetype there. Whenever NIv Mizzet, whenever this deals damage to a player, you may draw a card. And for Izzet, well, a blue and a red, it deals 1 damage. So you can spend 2 mana to draw a card. To deal a damage, draw a card. Now, this is, I think it's the exact flip from the original NIv Mizzet the Firemind, which we all know that NIv is number 1. It's a little bit more difficult to break just because, well, here, naturally, when I started to build this, I was like, well, I am running NIv Mizzet Tribal. So, it's running the Firemind. By the way, here's something that I want to show y'all, just in case you already don't know. This is the original NIv Mizzet, of course, printed in. Apparently, we get a NIv every time we go to Ravnica. We've been 3 times. We have 3 NIVs. So, this was the very first one. And I love that they kept the flavor text to what it is. Because here, y'all have seen the flavor text. But actually, what it says is, what is that? NIv is number 1. It's not a formula. It looks like a complicated formula, but it's NIv is number 1. So, the way you break NIv Mizzet Firemind is, I mean, it's super obvious. It says whenever you draw a card, you deal a damage, as opposed to dealing the damage and then drawing the card. Now, obviously, they work well together, a lot like NIv Mizzet 3.0. That is, you draw a card, you deal a damage. And, you know, instant or sorcery spell gets cast, you draw a card. So, it's kind of spell slingering. But how we did it way back was originally the first time we would get NIv Mizzet the Firemind, and then we would either put Ophidian Eye. Ophidian Eye was preferable because it has that oh so important word, may. Curiosity also has may. I'm thinking of one that actually didn't have may that you could actually deck yourself out on if you weren't careful. You may draw a card. Deal with it. Anyway, you see what I'm getting at. It kind of creates the, not really the infinite loop because you're limited to the number of cards in your library, and in Commander, that's not enough. It's not. In a standard 4-person pod, you're staring down 120 damage. You know, we ain't got that much access to that many cards, so we need something. So, first off, let's look at some, I don't know, what do we, you know, we're going to do things a little different. This is a stack of non-basic lands. I mean, it's a bunch. So let's look at the non-basic lands, just for something different. We'll blow through them pretty quick, but the Boiler Works, Swiftwater Cliffs, Izzet Guildgate, Highland Lake, I kind of count Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse as those as well. Forgotten Cave and Lonely Sandbar for the cycling lands. Mystic Sanctuary, we're going to have quite a bit of instant sorceries. This is, now granted in this particular deck, probably going to interplay tapped a lot of the time. It still does its thing. Blighted Cataract is, you know, card draw. Gotta Reach Sanitarium, also card draw. Desolate Lighthouse, card filtering. Emergence Zone for the Flash Dance turn. Cryptic Caves. drawing a card. And, of course, we got to have Reliquary Tower because we are doing it. We are drawing some cards. Tell you what, let's go ahead and look at our card drawing shenanigans here. This was kind of, and yes, I am missing quite a bit. There's a ton of good card draw that I don't have. If you've got it and you're building this particular deck, play it. But the thing about blue-red card draw is there's just such an embarrassment of riches that we have so much to choose from. Frantic Search. I went so far as to run Divination because this deck wants cards. You need card draw to find the pieces, and then once you find the pieces, you need an obscene amount of card draw just to do anything. So, Invoke the Firemind. I don't know that I have ever cast this with the Fireball side. It's always been a Brainstorm. No, not a Brain Geyser. It's always been a Brain Geyser for me. Huddle Up. Now, I like this. 2 target players. It's not up to, so you have to choose a second player. But you can barter with them. A lot of times there's that Boros player, white player, that you go, hey, let me borrow 2 mana, and I'll let you draw 2 cards. What mono white deck wouldn't do that? So you'll be drawing 2 for 1 mana. Thought Flare is kind of more filtering. Yeah, 5 mana is a bunch. But Brilliant Plan, just straight up to draw 3 cards for 5 mana, which is not exceptional. I know that. Concentrate's better, and Concentrate's still definitively worse than Harmonize just because of the color that it's in. But anyway, Dream Cache. Opt. Deep Analysis. Corvus Fury. Yeah. Friend or Foe. Portent. Thirst for Knowledge. Winds of Change. Folio of Fancies. Commence the Endgame. Scour All Possibilities. And that is it for the spells. Let's look at the walkers. Of course, we have Mr. Beleriand and the Royal Scions. Now, creature... Oh, enchantment. We got 1 enchantment. I love Attunement. It is, on the surface, I'll admit, back when Urza Saga came out, I looked at it and I saw negative value and I was instantly turned off. But then I saw the Opalescence Replenish deck, and I realized that this was, Attunement was just a way, its main purpose in that deck was to fill up a graveyard. But it's, the most important use for Attunement is just finding the cards you need. I mean, you can straight up, I mean, you're going to fill up a graveyard while doing it, but you find what you need. Can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes. Then, see, Apocalypse had this awesome cycle, vertical cycle, I believe they call it, because there was a common, uncommon, and rare. Mythics didn't exist at the time. That were Whirlpool Riders. When it comes into play, you shuffle your hand back into your deck and draw that many cards. The uncommon was Whirlpool Drake. Same thing, but then when it's put into the graveyard, you do it again. And then we have the rare Whirlpool Warrior. Same thing. And then a red to sack it, and everybody does that. So, and then of course we have Loyal Drake. Just at the beginning of combat, if you got your commander, you draw a card. Now that is a whole lot of card draw. But you know what? NIv Mizzet. Just from the character, NIv Mizzet has just an innate hunger for knowledge. I don't know. I kind of enjoy it. So let's look at some mana, because, our 3 big creatures cost 6, right? So we have the Izzet suite of artifacts, the Signet, Locket, Cluestone, Keystone, Hush Don't Tell Dana for the Manalith, Mana Geode, spinning wheel. For flavor reasons, you know, I had to put the Fire Mines vessel in there. It's also kind of not bad. Granted, it is what is that, a worse Worn Power Stone, but it does give you 2 colors. So now Goblin Electromancer, I'm counting as Mana Excel because it's going to reduce the cost of those. And Dragon Lord's Servant makes your dragons cost 1 less. Now, you've already seen 3 of them. Of course, NIv Mizzet Perun, this does not help because he's all pips. But let's see if we got any other dragons. It's not a real creature-heavy deck. And to be honest with you, I think I probably need a lot more board wipes than I do, considering I have none. Let's see. Dragons. We have a Spellbound Dragon. We have a Hypersonic Dragon. I love I want all my sorceries to have flash. And we have, because I'm a sucker and I love old school things, we have, you know, the OG Shivan Dragon. It's beautiful art. We are drawing some cards. Sir Eleonora, you know, that's really good. She's kind of big. Psychosis Crawler. I mean, we're drawing that many cards where Psychosis Crawler is kind of the push we need because it's each opponent. So we're not having to do 120 at once. We kind of now only have to do 40. Well, assuming nobody's been hit and everybody's, yeah, you get what I'm saying. Cackling Drake. Instant and sorceries, you know, spent instants and sorceries is what I'm going to call it, which, as you saw, there's quite a bit. Thundering Djinn. Going to give this one a try. Deals damage to any target equals the number of cards you've drawn this turn. That is such a unique ability. I really, really like it. Of course, Jory and Rune to try to make that second spell thing happen. They've been trying for a little while to get the second spell thing to be a thing. So far, I don't think we've seen anything that just breaks it. And then Milik is at Paragon. Let's look at our removal before we get to the other suite. NIv Mizzet does draw some hate, simply because everybody knows what you're going to do. Everybody knows why NIv Mizzet's at the table. He's going, essentially, to put it in NIv Mizzet's terms, he's going to outlearn everybody at the table. So, Mana Leak, Dream Freck. Now, Mana Leak is very situational, but it does only have the 1 blue pip, so this is a real card that can, I mean, people love to tap out. Oh my gosh. Dream Fracture, drawing that card. Dissipate, Negate, Pillage. Now, I chose Pillage over some of the others simply because there are problem lands. There are. I mean, yeah, we all know problem artifacts, but there are problem lands that need to be dealt with. Pyroclasm, Fireball, Lightning Bolt. I mean, I could not do Fireball and Lightning Bolt because I'm that guy. Yeah, I'm the old guy. Electrolyze. I'll admit that last line draw card is what kind of put me over the top here. And double negative. Now, I know most of the time double negative's only hitting 1 card. But, what is that, like Mind Break Trap? It reads really cool. But you'd be surprised how many times it doesn't matter that you're just doing a 1-for-1. So, let's look at the other. Now, Elixir of Immortality is in there just simply because, you know, we don't want to draw out. It's a real thing that can happen. Firemind's Research. Yeah, it's okay, but I felt like it had to be in there just for flavor reasons. Leyline of Punishment is going to make sure our damage can't be prevented. Library of Lang, of course. Quicksilver Dagger. Now, I'll admit I thought about putting in the free from the reel along with this. And I just, nah. Overblaze. Now, Overblaze, I love Overblaze. Each time target permanent would deal damage to a creature or player this turn, it deals double. So if you Overblaze your NIv, now granted, we're talking a 4 mana at the beginning of your turn before you start to go off, it doubles it up. I mean, you're doing 2 damage. Or if you Overblaze your Psychosis Crawler, Overblaze is kind of sweet now. But our last card, what is it? Oh, yeah. Clout of the Dominus. I love this. It is a single blue mana. It is hard to get Shroud for a single mana. Single blue or single red. That's... Ooh. And, of course, if we cast it on any of our multicolor creatures, which there is most of, it's +2/+2 Shroud and Haste. Permanently. For a single red. Yeah, sign me up for that. But that is NIv. I remember those the stickers that we had from the guild kits. Yeah, I would actually love stickers for like the monocolor ones or the shards or wedges, whatever. But I thought that was neat to put it on the end there. I've got a few like that done up there, but I haven't done one in a while, just because. Oh, speaking of the guild kits, trying to use as many of the actual Izzet basics as possible. Now, granted, in the guild kit you get, I think, 7 of each. So I'm not going to worry with shuffling right now. I'll probably regret that later. But that is $4.95. NIv Mizzet is number 1. Go over here. Yeah, there's still quite a few decks missing because they're in my box. We took them to play. $4.95. I realized $4.95 should probably be like right here, but I took quite a bit of new ones to play with. I played Kesa. I think Kesa. Now I played one-on-one because there was only one other person at the shop who was there that day. Kesa got stomped big time. But you know what? I have learned. Like I didn't need to learn because I already knew it, I guess. But Embercleave is one heck of a card. Man, it's good. I played the night deck, and you just like draw it, and you're like, okay, this is a permanent double strike trample plus. This is insane. Yeah, nothing messes up the combat math more than Embercleave. I don't know. There was a reason, I guess, why. Questing Bees, Embercleave. Imagine that. 2-push mythics. They're good. Turns out good cards are good. But anyway, that's all I've got for today. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But for right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.